What is happening, AO? First mentorship session. My name is Nick. I joined the group about 2 years ago, and then I graduated last year. Sorry, guys. Let me get this off here. Okay. So my name is Nick. I joined the group. I met Sean about 2.5 years ago, and graduated last year to be a mentor. So things have been moving pretty smoothly. Let's just get some housekeeping out of the way. I just wanted to say thank you to Sean opportunity to be a part of this group, help you guys, learn from Sean, learn from all the other mentors. It's an honor to even be mentioned in the same website as some of the people here in this group. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'm excited to do this, so let's get right to it. First question today is from Robin. She asked, when starting a business, do you think it's necessary to have a social media presence? I know a little bit about Robin. She's an artist. It's not absolutely necessary to have an Instagram or a Facebook page, but for me, if I was looking for an artist, I would want to see some of the work that you're doing and build sort of a brand and kind of some brand awareness behind who you are, what your paintings are for. I think that in today's market for social media, artists do really well. So I think that that's something definitely that I would do, but that's not necessary for every single business. My personal experience is that Instagram has been good to me. When I focus on Instagram and I focus on Facebook, I get a lot of leads. But I'm guilty as everybody else. When we get busy, that kind of goes to the back burner, so it's difficult. But I would definitely recommend that you do, because you do amazing work. I've seen it, so I would definitely go ahead and get an Instagram going. So great question, thanks, Robin. Okay, so my next question comes from Michelle Adams. We are considering from switching from an hourly employee to a salary employee. Um, I've had both. The salary employees are great because you know what you're going to pay, and it's kind of on you to make sure that they're profitable, and make sure their systems are set up and they're following some sort of schedule the best that you can. For me in my business right now, though, an hourly employee is much more beneficial to me because I can kind of control when they work, how much I'm putting out there. I leave the salary stuff for more of the people that are on commission based kind of stuff in my business. So I know what you do. I don't know really how I would use a salary employee inside your business, considering it's kind of when the orders come in, you need them and they need to work. So for me personally, in my experience, I would stick with the hourly employee. Just a little food for thought, because sometimes the salary people, I work with a lot of people that are on salary with sales, and they kind of drift all over the place and they're not very productive. Now, is that their fault? No, that's their management's fault. So a good process and systems always is going to be what saves you from making mistakes or losing money in those cases. So, but other than that, Michelle, I personally would stick with a salary employee. Okay. Let's see. Next question we got here comes from Ari Brown. Ari, her question is, how do I fire a client when your only basis is that they're difficult and not willing to change? That's a great question, and I've fought this battle with myself many, many times. Sometimes you want to get rid of a client because, like you said, they're difficult to work with or they're not very profitable, but you don't want to get like a bad reputation in the marketplace by just telling people to go, pound sand somewhere. So what I typically have done in the past is I've raised my prices to the point where they no longer want to use me and it's their decision. That's kind of the easy way out. But the other way you do it is just say that, our values don't align anymore. I actually know the situation that Ari's talking about. I think it's very frustrating to go into somebody's QuickBooks, fix everything, and then go ahead and, get it back 3 weeks later, and they went and undid all your work and they expect you to fix it for free. You are my CPA, so I know you're very good at giving detailed billing and, but we've talked about this in the past, and I know you're concerned about the reputation on the internet and how they're going to trash you. Look, Everybody has bad reviews. Nobody's perfect. I have them. Some of them are warranted. Some of them aren't. But I typically, when I look at reviews, if I don't see any bad reviews, something's wrong because you can't please everybody, and normal human beings understand that. I've actually used bad reviews to close jobs. And for instance, what I did when somebody called me out on a bad review, I said, yep, we made a mistake and we learned from it, and we don't do it that way anymore. Really, you're kind of leaving the customer with nothing else to say but respect that you at least owned up to it. Shows honesty, integrity, all the things that people are looking for when they're dealing with somebody. So admitting you made mistakes is actually sometimes beneficial when it comes to closing new clients when they see stuff like that. So I hope that helped you. I know the situation you're dealing with, and I'm glad that me and my wife don't mess up all your books. So, and you do a great job for us, all right, so thank you. Um, so the next question comes from Heather, my Heather, my homie. Which is better for onboarding, a private YouTube channel or a Trainual? Well, that's a tough question for me to answer because I'm kind of in the same situation that you are as far as how I onboard people. We are doing YouTube videos to kind of help people get the basic process of what we're doing. But for me in my service business, the in-truck training is actually the most valuable. I know you have a lot of systems and processes already put in place, and I would really think about maybe there's too much stuff as far as processes and things like that. And maybe you're overthinking that a little bit because I know you already have like a 2-week process where you actually bring people in. And I think you're actually very efficient in that. Because we've talked about this before, I would almost recommend that you look at an individual basis as far as when you're onboarding people. Some people get it in a matter of, 2 or 3 days, and some people don't pick it up after 2 weeks. And I think that's your timeline. And if they don't get it, you kind of move on to the next person. Personally, I think the YouTube videos are where I would learn best from just because, that's just my personal preference. And maybe you can put them on both platforms because some people are going to respond differently to different platforms, which sounds crazy, but I think you understand that, being that, Facebook users are Facebook users, Instagram are Instagram users, TikTok people are TikTok people. We all prefer a different way of learning. So if you have multiple ways of teaching them the same thing, you'll start to pick up on people's, kind of weirdness about what they like and what they don't like, and you'll be able to sense, okay, well, this person's a YouTube person, or this person's a Trainual person, this person's an on-hand person. So if you see that, then I would just kind of, play the part and put them in the direction that you think they're going to be most successful at, because you're really good at putting people in a place to be successful. So that's what I would actually recommend to you on that, okay? All right, next question again is from Robin. We did answer one from you earlier today. It looks like the email came separate. So your question is, what time management system or processes do you use and why? Robin, I don't have a time management system. I am, if you know a little bit about me, I have ADHD, so I'm a hyper guy. I need to have like a daily plan every day, but mine is very routine out of habit. When I wake up in the morning, I do the same thing. I get up, I drink a glass of water, go to the bathroom like everybody else, go downstairs, start the truck, get ready, go to Dunkin' Donuts, hit the shop, spend a half an hour by myself doing emails and things that I need to do. And these are all just routines that I've done for so many years in a row that I really don't need any like system or process. I do what makes me feel comfortable because of who I am. So like the whole routine about getting coffee in the morning, that's quiet time for me before the chaos. And that's quiet time for me to kind of get my brain going by myself to get through all the things that I need to get through the day. And that window in the morning is very important because I allow myself to kind of, plan my day and make sure that I'm covering everything. I'm checking my emails. I'm here before the guys get here in the morning so that they're not disrupting that personal time. But it's just formed out of habit of years of doing the same thing over and over and over again, and rinse and repeat because I personally with being ADHD, I need that structure of doing the same thing every day. Otherwise, I'm a wreck. So for me, just kind of see what you need daily. I mean, I know that you could probably reach out to Sean about some of the systems and processes that are out there for people that need it in that way. But for me, I just do my routine, what makes me comfortable and what makes me most productive. And for me, I know when I'm not productive. If I spend too much time doing one thing, as far as like playing on Instagram or Facebook or interacting with my clients, if I allow myself to go past a certain time, then I find myself in the wormhole just like everybody else. So I kind of check myself and go, well, did I do that good today? No. And then I shorten that time the next day. So I kind of play it by ear. So I hope that helps you. But I think gut instinct for me of what I need to do and when I need to do it is how I do it. So I hope that helps you, Robin. Okay, so the last question is one from Sarah, and I actually know Sarah, and so here's the question: how do I build loyalty with my team? Well, actually, Sarah, that's something that I'm learning as well. I run an HVAC business. It's a kind of a guy thing, and it's construction, and we talk nasty to each other, and it's just the trades are kind of that way. Your shop is a fun shop to work in. So I think that one of the things that you could possibly do is, what I found is being a really good leader develops loyalty from them and it bonds the crew. When I was a shitty leader, it was chaos all the time, and if I'm fucked up, my employees are going to be fucked up. It's just the way it works. So when I started doing leadership training with Sean, actually, about 2 years ago, I started to see where I was failing, and I made corrections slowly but surely. And today I'm still working on it. But I think that's the most important thing. If your shit is together and you're strong and you're direct and you know what you want and you're pointing the company in the direction that you want it to, and those people buy into you and believe in you, you're going to get some loyalty there. Then my wife introduced some stuff this year. We had like a appreciation circle, and for me and a bunch of construction guys, it was a little weird. But after the appreciation circle, we each went and said something about the person next to us. I watched them bond. Sometimes when you have you have a moment to sit down and not talk about work and you're all just sitting around, you start to learn who each other is. And when you learn who your employees are and the employees learn who other employees are, they create a bond that you really don't have any control over. You'll just watch it happen in front of your face. And then it's up to you to to grab that magic and make it happen. For us, there was 9 or 10 of us sitting around a circle, and by the end of the appreciation circle, every single person had cried about something. Grown men, and that's not cool here, like that's not what this shop is about. But it was really like it changed so much for the guys. Like I watched these guys get better as technicians, as human beings. We started having each other's back even more than we did already. It really created this really cool vibe that was, I can't even explain it. It just happens. So try some group gathering, get together. We've done Top Golf together. I've taken the guys golfing together. Maybe that there's like a convention you guys can go to together where they're, kind of releasing all the new hair techniques or scissors or clippers or things that you guys are into. Or a tattoo convention, because I know who you are, and that's kind of how we do things here too. So things like that are non-related to work are really good, and stuff that's related to work works really well. And you will be really, really surprised how quickly the whole group kind of takes each other as family. And what I've noticed is when they're strong and they feel like a family, their production is better. They'll fight for each other at the end of the day to get jobs done when it's 9 o'clock at night, and they're buying each other pizza to keep them going. It's really kind of a magical thing. But just to recap that, start with yourself. Get some leadership training. Get better at it, because as you go, they go. And you'll start to see the ones that are going to rise to the top. And then there's going to be people that you thought were going to be with you that aren't going to like the new you and aren't going to like that, and they're going to fall off, and that's okay, because that happens. And I'm dealing with that right now. So as you grow as a human being and as a leader, You're going to lose some people. That's normal. But you're also going to find that the people that are attracted to you are much better for you and the business. So I hope that kind of helps you. And then there was one last question here from Michael. I'm just going to read the question because it's a little long here. So from an ask, believe, or receive prayer perspective, let's say I want a deal to go through, and I'm concerned that it might not go by the end of the meeting. Do I specifically ask for the deal to go my way, and then just believe and say that the deal will go? You know, I'm not I'm not faithful. I don't practice religion or anything like that, but I have a lot of respect for the people that do. You have to do what you think is, right. But I will tell you about manifestation, okay? It's powerful. Anybody that's known me for a long time knows that I'm a Range Rover guy, and I've been posting Range Rovers, two specific Range Rovers, for a long, long time. 5 years ago, I was posting about me having a black one and my wife having a white one. And 5 years ago, I couldn't afford, a Ford Pinto. Okay. So, but I get reminded of it all the time because that's what we drive now. And, when you focus on something, and I posted something on my social media the other day, actually, and it says, a sick man focuses on one thing and a happy man focuses on 10. But that sick man, he focuses on it, and guess what? He becomes unsick because he's only got one thing to focus his energy on. So I think that manifestation is really good, and I think that you can do it. I don't really have room to speak on prayer because I don't practice it, so I apologize for that. I think you could talk to Sean about that. I know Sean is very faithful and loves God, and and I respect that. But I'm probably not the best one to ask about prayers. But as far as projecting good vibes and good feelings and putting stuff in your mind that's positive, yeah, it works. It really, really, really works. But I will say this: if you're in the middle of a sales call or a meeting, and you're at that point of praying about it, I think maybe it's time to look at your system of sales and your presentation, because I do know a little bit about God and Jesus, and that's not how it works. Okay, so maybe I think this question is more, do you really believe in your process? And if you don't believe in your process, is there a place for improvement? And do we need to get you set up with Tom? That would be more where I think. I mean, it's kind of like jumping off a bridge and praying that you don't hit the ground. It's not going to happen that way. But it's a great question. Definitely one that I think for people that have a little bit more faith than I do would be better off to answer. But, the mind is an amazing thing that you could really, I don't know, it does amazing things. You ask for things. I always thought I was going to be successful. I didn't know how to until I got here at AO. But there's definite things in my life that I've manifested and gotten. My company, my wife, my cars, my success, this group. I've always wanted a family like this, So I would just keep pushing it, but just definitely ask yourself, if you're asking for God to help you, is it because you're afraid that your system isn't down right? And that could be a problem in itself, that would be a Tom Black thing for Tom to handle for you. So I hope that you guys, get something out of today. I'm going to be doing this once a month. I appreciate the questions. I was a little nervous today, but this is what I'm here for, and this is how I want to do it. So I appreciate you guys listening to me. I love you. Ayo, motherfuckers. All right, guys. Have a great day.